So recently, the band I play in, Old James, we decided to record one song a month for the entire year of 2020. So far, we've released The End of Something in January and The Trip in February. So for the month of March, being stuck in quarantine, which many of us are currently experiencing, we decided to do things a little differently. Hey my fellow drum nerds, this is Chris Stevenson and you are watching Chris Stevenson Drums. So our dear friend Cory Bergeron, who we've done all these singles with so far and we did our last Old James album with Speak Volumes, we invited him over to Mom's house where we're all stuck in quarantine and we decided to produce the new single out of Mom's basement where all great businesses are developed, right? So stuck in quarantine here with Cory Bergeron and we've changed the configuration of the drums a bit. And yeah, miking a drum kit really sucks, doesn't it, Cory?
Miking a drum kit, not very fun. Miking a drum kit in a basement with minimal room, less fun.
Fun! The reason we've always gone with Cory Bergeron is because Cory is one of the greatest producers I have ever personally worked with. And when it comes to our band, Old James, which is our baby and our passion project, Cory is the guy for us, and yeah, super cool. Cory calls me up and is like, yo, Chris, what are we gonna do for the month of March? I was like, let's do it out of Mom's basement. And Cory simply asked me, do you still have all your recording gear and do you have enough inputs to record your massive drum kit? Naturally, I'm like, yeah, of course I do. Okay, let's hold on a second. Side note here, the reason I decided to learn the acoustic drums in 2003 is because I decided I never wanted to plug anything in. And then they came out with electronic drums. Anyways, Cory arrived at my mom's house.
Good morning. Good morning.
And we ran into a bit of a problem. This is what happened.
All right, so we're about to record, and silly me, I'm used to recording in the studio with the luxury of 24 preamps. We don't have access to that today, so we only have the Focusrite Scarlett 18i20, which has 8 preamps. It's got a bunch of other ins, but I don't have preamps to use it. So I only have access to 8 preamps right now. Now I could go and I could record the drum performance with those 8 preamps, but I think it would be limiting to only use 8 microphones. So what we've decided to attempt to do is we're going to record the shells as one performance and then the cymbals as another performance. As long as Chris plays the same thing twice, which I know he can do. I know he doesn't feel comfortable doing that, but I know he can do it. We should be able to put the 2 performances together and have a great drum performance.
Thank you for that, Cory, but to be completely honest, I don't really write any of my drum parts. I usually just have an idea, and during band practice, I kind of improvise and try new parts. And I have a variety of ideas when we hit the studio to try out. That means cymbal hits might be different. The way I've played the drums might be a bit different. So this time I literally had to play the exact same part twice. So what you just listened to was just the drums. And so essentially I played the drums with the cymbals, but I had to play the cymbals exactly the same every time, and we were only miking 8 channels on the drums. So to describe the audio interface, we were using the Scarlett 18i20. Now, I am not an audio guy whatsoever, so if you want to check out that video, go check out Cory Bergeron Recordings. Go check that out, and that'll give you the whole spectrum of his perspective on this problem. So what you just listened to there, that was just the cymbal take. So essentially we had to put all of my favorite clothes. Cory came up with the genius idea of just miking the drums, and then we just mic the cymbals, But this time we dampened each drum with an article of clothing so that it wouldn't be picked up by the mics because they're so close to each cymbal. So out of all of this, we did find a solution, and this is what it sounded like. They're the cymbals, I should say.
Just like AC/DC did it.
Both Cory and I have never recorded drums this way. As myself as a professional drummer, I have never done this before. And for Cory as a producer, he's never done this before either. So when faced with challenges, you need to do the best with what you have right now. Not what you had before, not what you could have, but the moral of this story is, as a professional drummer and as a professional producer, we needed to come up with a way, because of this whole COVID-19 crisis and being stuck in quarantine, how could we have the best product possible with what we currently had right now? Cory had 16 microphones, but we only had 8 inputs. So we made it work. You've heard what it sounds like. We have been successful. It was awesome. It was a really fun experience. And that's the most important part. When we're being creative, we also want to have fun. And everything turned out. So you got to see the behind the scenes on how this actually worked out. I feel relieved. I'm super stoked. So stay tuned for all of the recordings we're going to be coming out with for the rest of the year with Old James. Check out Old James Band on all social media platforms as well. You are watching Chris Stephenson Drums. Peace and love. Take care.